An incredible and in the worst of senses possible. That is a transformer blowing live there near Rowlett, Texas. This is eastern Dallas County, very heavily populated, and those are transformers blowing with a tornado that is confirmed to be on the ground. We've seen some drastic weakening with our storm. It's moving into significantly cooler waters, but this is the reason why I'm a bit more optimistic. Notice our center of circulation here. First of all, we don't have an eye. Looks like the center is right about there, but it's getting sheared, and most of the convection's to the west of the center of our storm, which is good news. To kind of represent what we're talking about, say Dallas, Chicago, Detroit, New York City, an area with normal vegetation, you get grass, you got trees, you got vegetation that can absorb it. We're going to represent that here with some paper towels. So here at the bottom of this tray, we've actually got some paper towels. You put an inch or two of rainfall on it. And we're going to try and do this without actually destroying anything. And yes, you get wet paper towels, you get wet grass, but at the bottom of the tray, you've got nothing really going on, right? You've got maybe a little bit of damp water, you get the kind of damp pavement, not a whole lot going on. Now, we're going to represent the desert Southwest. We're going to represent Albuquerque, El Paso, Phoenix with what happens here in the middle of the desert. And yes, all that water just kind of sits at the bottom. It doesn't really get absorbed by anything because there's nothing to absorb that. That's the big issue. That's why we're so concerned about the flash flood potential out here across parts of the Southwest over the next couple of days. So yes, out east, an inch or two of rain doesn't mean a whole lot. When we're talking about these kinds of rain amounts for us here in the Southwest, Phoenix, an inch possibly, and most of that in a short amount of time. Look at that hail size, folks. It's bigger than a golf ball. I hope you brought your cars inside. That would do a number. Oh, that's very cute, but certainly lots of hail up this way. Down the spine of the Appalachians and even north into New England, upstate New York, and the Hudson Valley could be seeing some of the stronger storms. Needless to say, this is Christmas Eve. We do not typically expect flash flooding concerns of this level this time of year. Take cover now. Look at this. Look at this. Unbelievable footage. Those are transformers that you're seeing very likely blowing off in the distance. After a busy severe weather Wednesday across the Four Corners, particularly in eastern Colorado, we do it all over again as we head to your Thursday and possibly your Friday and Saturday as well. What you can expect, particularly in eastern Colorado, but also for northeast parts of New Mexico. Tell you all about it right here on Weather Nation. Thanks for tuning in. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi. We'll start things off with a view right out of our backyard. In fact, this photo taken 50, 100 feet from where I'm standing right now in Centennial, Colorado, where the view about 15, 20 miles or so southeast of Denver was pretty ominous earlier on your Wednesday afternoon. We saw a little bit in the way of some hail in Centennial, but as you headed south and east of the immediate Denver metro area, that's where you ran into some pretty big time hail. I'll show that to you here in just a second, but look at this panoramic view of this storm that was moving to the southwest, moving up into the northeast into downtown Denver. That actually delayed the Rockies game, brought some pretty decent sized hail, especially to the Littleton area, Roxborough Park, and the southwest side of the Denver metro area. That's where we saw the worst of that hail earlier on your Wednesday. And speaking of that big time hail, this is Larkspur in north of Colorado Springs, and that golf ball sized hail was pretty common. This is about 3, 4 o'clock when those storms really first started to get going. With this, the view as the sun was setting for you on your Wednesday evening, the Mile High city of Denver. No more with those storms, but we'll see them again for your Thursday and your Friday. This is the time of year here, folks, where we do see storms, and sometimes they do turn tornadic. In fact, the month of June in Colorado is the #1 producer of tornadoes amongst all 12 months of the year. 18 of the 53 tornadoes on average occur in the month of June. So that's about 34%. Second biggest tornado month would be the month of May with about 11 or 12 tornadoes. So yes, this is nothing unusual. We talk about severe weather here in the first week of June across the Centennial State. Also, can't forget about our friends in Salt Lake City, I-15, I-80. We have been seeing that rain in the Wasatch Range, and then you head down towards Salt Lake City itself. We've been seeing some of the stronger storms linger around for you, but it's really eastern Colorado where that severe weather risk continues as we head into your Thursday. You head east of I-25, this yellow shaded area. This is a slight risk as determined by the Storm Prediction Center. What do you think about this? On a 0 to 5 scale, this is a 2. The dark green is a 1. So Denver, you're right on the cusp of it. You tend to see those storms roll on off, and as they head east along 76 and I-70, that's where you start to see those storms really get going on the eastern plains. And for our Friday, similar idea, but notice the Storm Prediction Center including the I-25 urban corridor. So Fort Collins, Loveland, and Loveland, I saw some pretty big time hail, golf ball size, and he headed out towards Elizabeth. That's where we actually had some reports of near baseball sized hail from our storms on Wednesday. We do it all over again for your Thursday. I think Thursday is the worst of it. Then by Friday, Saturday, we slowly start to get into more of a garden variety threat of thunderstorm as opposed to some of those really big time storms. We're talking about 50, 60,000 feet with those tops on the storms earlier on your Wednesday. Speaking of your highs on Wednesday, 74 in Denver, lots of clouds. You actually had all that low-level moisture in places. I was driving into work. You could just see it. It looked like a sauna out there in the Denver area. That is not too common. I'll get more on that here in just a second. 102 for you in Phoenix. You're going to cool off more for your Friday, and we're going to start to get active across Utah and Arizona. Not yet for your Thursday, really, but it's into your Friday where you start to add a bit more in the way of moisture into the atmosphere. But I wouldn't say there's much moisture for us in Tucson, Arizona, with a 5-degree dew point. The bigger the gap between the dew point and the air temperature, that is indicative of the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. But you head further east, Colorado, 55-degree dew point in Colorado Springs, Denver and in Fort Collins, 54 for you in Colorado Springs. What that means, again, closer you get that temperature and that dew point, the more moisture there is in the atmosphere, and warmer air and is more able to hold more moisture. So as you head into the front range of Colorado, we are talking about a lot of moisture. This is kind of almost, those dew points are almost more likely what you see in the southeast. You've got a southeasterly flow that's pumping up tons of moisture straight from the Gulf of Mexico, and that is keeping us active. And it's all due to this area of low pressure out here in western Kansas. But the one thing I want you to keep an eye for really doesn't move a whole lot. So as you get going on your Thursday morning, this low just not really budging, got a stationary front, so that's going to kick off more showers and storms as we head to our Thursday afternoon. Those will roll their way east as we head through our Thursday. Also seeing some showers across the Salt Lake City area again, but it's Friday where we start to pump up more of that moisture here into the desert Southwest. Phoenix, Tucson, we're not quite monsoon season yet, but a bit of a monsoon-like setup getting going for us. So if you're maybe heading to Zion National Park, maybe you're going to Moab, a lot of popular places for the weekend. Maybe not the best one. If you can hold off more until next weekend, things look a little better then, but we've got a pretty active picture. And with that, temperature is going to be a bit on the chilly side, warming up into the 80s in Denver. More on that severe weather risk for you right here on Weather Nation after the break.
Your Weather Nation severe weather coverage continues.
An incredible and in the worst of senses possible. That is a transformer blowing live there near Rowlett, Texas. This is eastern Dallas County, very heavily populated, and those are transformers blowing with a tornado that is confirmed to be on the ground near Sunnyvale to the east of Mesquite. If you are watching me from Garland, Texas, and the Rowlett, Texas areas, you need to be taking cover right now. This is heading for you. Very serious situation. It is this storm out here that continues to produce a tornado. If you've been with us here for a little while now, you know what is going on here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And it's this storm that continues to produce areas of rotation. And we've had numerous tornadoes reported here. We'll get you that footage back in just a second because we need to be showing that for you. But this is going to be in the, let's show you kind of the area. I want to give you an idea in terms of where the worst of this is. It's going to be the Highway 66, Highway 30 area where you're seeing that possible tornado crossing you right about now. Lake Ray Hubbard, as you make your way towards Rockwall, Texas. This is going to be you just to the east of the turnpike there, where you do continue to see this rotation outside the 635 loop, where we've had reports of a tornado on the ground. In fact, the National Weather Service office in Fort Worth is saying that there is a tornado on the ground, and you can see what you're seeing on the bottom right-hand side of your screen is a combination of two things. You're seeing lightning, but you're also seeing those transformers flashing, and that is damage as a result of a confirmed tornado on the ground there, just to the northeast of Mesquite, Texas. Again, if you're unfamiliar with Dallas-Fort Worth, this is the very heavily populated area. And let's put this in motion for you because we are not done yet. We have two areas of rotation of great concern right now. We've had reports of already damaged homes as well as damaged businesses to the south of Dallas around Lancaster, DeSoto, and through Waxahachie. But now these storms continuing to lift their way up towards the north and east. And let's go ahead and show you that footage in full here because this is what you need to be seeing right now. If you know anybody here in eastern parts of Dallas County and eventually now into southern parts of Collin County, take cover now. Look at this. Look at this. Unbelievable footage. Those are transformers that you're seeing very likely blowing off in the distance. We even had some reports of it being audible in around here. And obviously, again, this video speaks a lot louder than words. That's very serious stuff there. 3 miles to northwest of Sunnyvale, Texas, Dallas County. A tornado making its way through. And this is really, really incredible. What an incredible situation that we're seeing a tornado make its way through the eastern side of Dallas County here into the heart of the city. It's now pushed its way to the north and east away. The National Weather Service office in Fort Worth has gone ahead and put a PDS signature on this, or what's considered to be a particularly dangerous situation. I think that's kind of self-explanatory at this point with the video you're seeing there when you're seeing a tornado literally tearing through the eastern part of Dallas County right now. But to highlight the severity of the situation, the National Weather Service office has issued a tornado warning that is, again, a particularly dangerous situation for the east side of Dallas County that goes in place until 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for Dallas County, and does include the city of Dallas and the east side of it. Also includes Rockwall County as well as Collin County. We have a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado that is moving through the east side here of Dallas at this point. So, gosh, that is an incredibly serious situation. We have another tornado warning off to the south. This would be impacting many of these same areas now. So once you get through this storm, you're still not out of the woods here. And I wish I could say that you were out of the woods here in the east side of Dallas County, but you're not yet, because we've got this storm off to the south. That is a tornado warning for Ellis and Kaufman counties until 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We've had some pretty strong indications on radar of a possible tornado out here as well. That continues to lift its way off towards the north, and that would likely be impacting us again to the east there of kind of the east of the 635 loop and Lake Ray Hubbard. That's that lake here. That's Lake Ray Hubbard here. And to the east there is where you'll likely be seeing those impacts here in the not too distant future. But a very serious situation. And look at that. Let's take that full, guys, if we can. The shot there in the bottom right-hand side of your screen near Rowlett, Texas. Looks like, oh, that's just from a few minutes or so ago. Again, from what you're seeing in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. That is from less than 5 minutes ago, where you had a confirmed tornado on the ground. Seek shelter immediately. I don't think I needed to say this again. This is an incredibly serious situation. We'll be back in 5 minutes with more for you right here on Weather Nation. Stay tuned. Plenty more. Keep it here.